This is Kimberly from Hendrix Life Coaching. Also, this YouTube channel, which has been mainly about independent nursing and about nursing in general, from my perspective. Okay. Also, I want you all to check out my Hendrix Life Coaching page on Facebook, where I discuss and post a number of different things. Also, a little bit of astrology, some tarot, because on another platform, I am called the Tarot Nurse. So check that out. But anyway, this video is about the pros and cons of independent contract nursing, and we're going to get right into it. The first one is, if the physician doesn't work, you don't get paid unless there's some kind of contingency plan that you have for that physician. I sort of stumbled off into this, and I will do a video on how just the whole shebang, okay? But I had to learn this the hard way, because at the time when I got into this, and still this is like solely my only source of income. Right now I'm working on multiple sources of income, hence the life coaching page, and I have the YouTube channel, and let's get these subscribers up for me, please. Anyway, so that's one of the causes. If the physician don't work, you don't get paid. Also, you don't get any paid benefits. And a lot of times when you're doing like per diem, they feel like because of the rate that you're getting, it's going to be the rate that you're getting. Also, not just the rate. I got a phone call coming in. Not just the rate, but also if there's less than 50 employees, I believe that's the case. So a lot of your if you're working for certain physician-owned practices, they may not have not even 10 employees, okay? Which is kind of good, because then you could probably negotiate a better rate. Also, you may not have any attachments. Like when you work as a staff nurse, you'll have like your work husband, your work wife, your partner in crime, those things like that. And sometimes you even hang out with the people that you work with, and things like that. As an independent nurse contractor, you may not have any attachments to anyone in there at all. And that could be a good thing, and that could be a bad thing. It just depends on the person. Me personally, I'm just coming in to make my paper, take care of my patient, and I'm out. So that's a few of the cons that I can kind of come up with. The gig that I have is like in another city, so sometimes you might have to travel, and that could be a con, because some people may not want to travel 30, 40, 50 miles or whatever the case is, hour, 2 hours away from where they are. So you want to take those things into consideration. So far, the cons, the physicians, if the physician is not at work, you're not gonna get paid, and no benefits, no attachments, and maybe the travel distance. Now, the pros is that this is your time. So a lot of times, if you're working, like I do procedures, so I have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm not doing cases on certain days, and that kind of works. And so that means I could kind of pick my own schedule, or they could say, hey, I have these, and you could say yeah or nay, or whatever the case is. So that works out really, really well. You have more free time to more of a work-life balance. You can negotiate your rates. Now when it comes to like the rate, you still have to be considerate, because you're not a nurse practitioner, you're not an anesthesiologist, you're a nurse, and you can't, just because you're independent doesn't mean that you're going to be like on this whole other pay scale. Now don't get me wrong, you are going to be on a different pay scale, because again, you're not getting any benefits and things like that. So you can negotiate your rates a little bit better. You can ask, if you want to, you can ask for like a straight rate or whatever. Like, like if you're going to be there 3 or 4 times a week, just be like, hey, I want this amount of money per week or whatever the case is. So it's easier to negotiate your rates as an independent contractor within certain confines. Okay, you don't have to deal with any politics or any special treatment. Like, you don't have to worry about working with someone that's going to really get their way with everything and anything, or having to do someone else's work, or being responsible for somebody else's work. None of that. It's just your work. You do what you have to do, and you're done. You have to be a part of committees and whatever going on in the office. That's You're just like the anesthesiologist or whoever that's coming in to do their case. They do the case and they go. That's your role. And your skills do matter. Your skills matter. Most times, if a physician is using an independent nurse, he or she, they may desperately need a nurse. Okay, and so that's where you come in, because you're feeling a need, and you'll find that your skills are very needed. They respect that. They're there to help you. And it's a different type of treatment. And that's another thing, because once you get into this level of nursing, you're not going to really want to go back to staff nursing, because you have so much more freedom. And also, you notice that you get treated a lot differently as a person that's an independent nurse or staff member versus a staff nurse. You know what I'm saying? Because people tend to take advantage of you a little bit, or they don't really think much of it. They just know, oh, you're coming to work. There's no special anything about it. It's just like, oh, you just coming to work. Oh, that's Kimberly. Oh, she's at work today. Nurses Week. No gifts for Nurses Week. But when you're independent, it's almost like, well, she's not our nurse, so we need to do what we got to do to keep her happy, to keep her coming. So it's that mentality. And don't take advantage of that, though. But it gives you this feeling of being special, of being needed in a sense. And that feels good. That you can walk into a workplace and they're glad to see you, or they might be afraid that you may not show up or anything like that. So those are just a few little things, the pros and cons. There's probably a lot more. And if you're out there doing per diem or PRN or anything like that, put in the comments what's your pet peeves, what's your pros and what's your cons about what it is that you do. And if you have any information that you would like to add to this video, or if there's a video that you would like for me to speak on, put it in the comments, and I will be there to do another video. And I appreciate everyone that's subscribing. I appreciate everyone that's asking questions in the comments. I just love teaching. I just love giving information. So that is it for that. And again, make sure y'all head over to my Hendrix Life Coaching Facebook page and follow that page, share that page as well, share the video as well. Just try to get me up there with some of these subscribers so I can do more of these videos, okay? So, get paid a little bit more. Anyway, I'm out of here. Y'all have a lovely, blessed day. Bye.